Hey friends, Dr. Allie here. Today I want to talk about the number one most overlooked thing when it comes to pregnancy and even when it comes to fertility, right? Because we're told about hormones, we're told about our reproductive health, we're told about how to organize those baby showers, what names should we pick? There's so many different things when it comes to fertility and pregnancy, but what is the number one thing that we should be focused on? Well, that's the nervous system, and I'm going to teach you why. So hold on, keep watching this video if you truly want to know why and what you can do about it. But let's start with a story. Most moms who come in to PWC have almost the exact same story. It starts with fertility struggles, and then it moves on into they had a lot of ultrasounds during their pregnancy, or they had a really stressful pregnancy. Maybe they lost their dog, maybe they lost a family member, maybe they were very concerned with what does baby need? How many baby showers should we have? All of those different things. Where am I going to deliver? What happens if there's so many unknowns. Are they taking the classes they need to? What about breastfeeding? So many different things that we have to think about. But then they go into birth. And what happens during birth? A lot of the times we see that mom will get induced because maybe their OB is going on vacation. And most moms don't know about that, but a lot of OBs love to schedule it, right? It's convenient for the OBs, it's convenient for the nurses. And then after an induction occurs, what happens is that Pitocin that they use to mirror oxytocin, they're not the same at all. So with Pitocin contractions, it is boom, 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 over and over again, constantly and consistently. And what that does is it's super hard on baby. And a lot of the times we see that baby's heart rate will start to lower. It's also really hard on mom. So once she gets that Pitocin, then she's like, oh my goodness, I really need this epidural. And what we're finding out with epidurals is the toxins and chemicals within that medication or drug or whatever you want to call it that goes into the back of our spine can also go traveling through the umbilical cord and the placenta to baby. We see a lot of lethargic babies from this, or we'll see a lot of babies who are super stuck on that gas pedal in fight or flight, which we'll talk about a little bit later. After this, baby is so distressed, mom is so distressed, and now heart rates are dropping, maybe mom's blood pressure is going higher, and that's where we see that emergency C-section needs to occur. After this, a lot of the times difficulty latching occurs, we have a colicky baby, sometimes reflux or constipation, and then as baby gets older into those school years, we start to see some ADHD tendencies, some sensory struggles or speech delays. The list goes on. And then we have teenagers who are struggling with anxiety and adults struggling with depression. And it really is what we call the perfect storm, right? All of those little cascade of events start to add up because it's so much stress upon the nervous system, which controls everything in the entire body. And that's what we call the perfect storm. So how can we start from the beginning, rewind the tapes, and hopefully prevent this perfect storm? I want to show you why the perfect storm is really happening through stats. And I want to get these right, so I'm going to pull them up on my computer. Okay, so America is number one in emergency care. So incredibly grateful to live here in America with the doctors, the surgeons, the nurses, and our entire healthcare team in emergency care is wonderful. That being said, a stat that is so unacceptable and makes me not very proud to live here is that we are number 55, which is dead last in developed countries, for maternal and infant mortality rate. Why is this? Are we messing a little bit too much with prenatal care? Are we trying to intervene because we're so good at emergency care, which maybe we're unintentionally making it an emergency? America spends close to $100 billion with a B, dollars on birth per year. Our fertility market in 2022 was $7.9 billion and is now estimated in 2028 to go to $16.8 billion with a B. 1 in 3 women are induced, 75% of women receive that epidural, and then 1 in 3 women have a C-section, which The World Health Organization says that it should only be 10 to 15% at most for C-sections that should truly be that emergency. Maybe baby is transverse and they really need to get baby out. There's other complications that can occur that really do deem a emergency C-section, a medical emergency C-section. But a lot of the times it's just because of this big cascade of events that we're causing. And then 1 out of 7 American women are experiencing a postpartum mood or anxiety disorder. And then they get right back on birth control, 65% of women. So there is a perfect storm happening within prenatal care. Now, again, we want to prevent the perfect storm. So how are we going to do it? Obviously, hear me on this one. Obviously, we cannot control everything or really anything when it comes to birth and pregnancy, and a lot of times even fertility. But what we can do is make sure that both mom and baby's nervous systems are completely and entirely regulated so that they can adapt and be resilient to all of those stressors that come their way. So if they do need to get induced or if they do need to have that C-section, that mom and baby can both say, okay, there's the stressor coming in, but what am I going to do about it? How am I going to choose to react to this nervous system wise? So let's talk nervous system and really explain it so that everyone understands why the nervous system is the number one most overlooked thing when it comes to fertility and pregnancy. So for simplicity today, there you have your autonomic nervous system. This controls everything in the body. It controls how we're functioning. It controls your hormones. A lot of the times hormones try to take the star of the show, right? And in fertility and pregnancy and postpartum, we give hormones a lot of credit. But the nervous system is the one who controls which hormones are going to be created and expressed and all of that, which we'll go over next. But there are two sides to the autonomic nervous system. There's our gas pedal side and there's our brake pedal side. So the gas pedal side is going to be when you are in fight or flight. If there is a bear coming or if you're driving your car and you need to swerve or whatever it may be, that's your fight or flight, or your sympathetic nervous system is going to turn on. That is intelligently designed. We love that because we need to protect and be in survival mode some of the times. Your other side is your parasympathetic nervous system. That is the brake pedal side. So that's going to be relax, rest, digest, and reproduce. Now, the key is that both of these systems need to be fluid, right? I need to run from a bear and then I need to say, okay, I'm safe. I need to relax. A lot of us as American women are very, very stuck on the gas pedal. So we could be watching a really funny show like, I don't know, The Office and be stuck in fight or flight when we should just be chilling, not thinking about anything. Our brains are on almost 100% of the time, thinking of our list, thinking of the next thing we need to be doing, and we're totally stuck in that fight or flight mode. So with fight or flight or that gas pedal, talking hormones now, there's a pathway called the HPA axis. That's hypothalamus to pituitary to adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are going to pump out cortisol and adrenaline and all of those hormones that you need to go, go, go or run from that bear. On the brake pedal side, the pathway HPG exists. So hypothalamus in your brain to pituitary in your brain to gonads or reproductive organs. Those reproductive organs are going to shoot out progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, all of those baby-making hormones that we need to even not make a baby, but even have a healthy menstrual cycle or just be healthy people. You need both the HPA and HPG axis. The key is that both of these cannot be turned on at the same time. They absolutely cannot be. You can't be running from a bear and then stop and create a baby. That would be messed up, right? God so intelligently designed our nervous systems for that reason. If you're running from a bear or if you're stuck in survival mode, you're not going to be able to give the nutrients that you have to grow and develop a healthy baby. So you, in turn, are not able to get pregnant because your body is in survival mode of thinking about you. That is very, very intelligently designed. So what we have to do as neurologically focused chiropractors is we have to tap into that nervous system through chiropractic adjustments and remind your body, okay, this is how you activate your gas pedal. This is how you are in safety mode and you can have that brake pedal on, because a lot of the times, like I said, when you're watching a show, you're doing the dishes, you're doing all of these things, our brain is perceiving those things as the bear and is stuck in fight or flight survival mode. Therefore, not wanting to create a baby, not wanting to sustain the life of a baby, and really passing on those hormones to baby. So let's talk about that. The umbilical cord, yes, it's for oxygen. Yes, it's for blood flow. Yes, it's for the nutrients from mom to baby. But it is also the pathway that takes mom's nervous system and sends a blueprint to baby's nervous system. So whatever mom's nervous system is, so will babies. So if mom's is super stuck, super stressed, not adapting to that stress, right? We can't choose the stressors that we have in our life, but we can choose how we adapt to them. If mom isn't adapting, baby is getting all of those stress hormones through that umbilical cord, and they are starting the blueprint of their nervous system in development. The nervous system starts to develop week 3. So before you even know you're pregnant, which is why preconception or prior to conception care is so incredibly important. But that's where baby is getting that blueprint, and it starts at 3 weeks. And so it is so incredibly important that us as moms and us as dads prior to conceiving, because right? 50-50, it's actually almost 60-40, 60% dad. So dad's nervous system is just as important as mom's to create that healthy nervous system of baby. It is so incredibly important that mom and dad are both under neurologically-focused chiropractic care. So if you are into this, if you want to see how your nervous system is adapting to all of that stress, we do have neurological insight scans that we run on every single patient. It would be so cool to see yours, just to see how you're adapting to stress. What does your nervous system look like? Are your adrenals, have they been stuck on the gas pedal for so long that now you might be out of gas? Are you able to access that brake pedal? We can see all of those things. We can also see your body battery, testing heart rate variability through those scans. So many things. If you would like to get scanned, call our office, text us, DM us, whatever it may be, but let's get you scheduled for that neurological insight scan so that we can see if your body is ready to create and sustain life. See you guys next time.